Have you ever driven through your hometown and noticed emergency call boxes stationed around the city? I certainly did, and it sparked a curiosity within me. I couldn't help but wonder, how do these systems actually function? Do they genuinely enhance urban safety, or are they merely a facade, a governmental expenditure that pretends to improve city security? Join me today as we delve into the inner workings of these emergency call boxes and explore whether they truly serve their intended purpose in making our cities safer. The emergency call box emerged in the 1880s as a groundbreaking method to swiftly and securely grab the attention of the police, the concept that gained immense popularity at the time. Fast forward to the 1980s, following the tragic murder of Jean Clary at the University of Chicago, campuses nationwide reassessed their strategies for student safety. While ensuring the safety of every individual on campus at all times is a formidable task, this devastating incident underscored the necessity for additional safety measures and immediate access to emergency services. During an era predating smartphones, campuses implemented the so-called blue light boxes in various locations, particularly in less frequented areas, as a means of bolstering campus safety.
Queens Emergency Report Center.
Imagine this scenario. You're waiting at your local bus stop when suddenly a threatening individual approaches you, demanding your belongings with a knife in hand. In a panic, you swiftly reach for the emergency button on the call box, hoping for immediate assistance. What happens next mirrors the action of dialing 911. Pressing this button initiates a connection to an emergency operator who can communicate with you directly at certain stations. Some call boxes even incorporate cameras, enabling the dispatcher to establish visual contact. Simultaneously, the station emits an intense emergency light and emits a piercing sound, alerting nearby bystanders. Within a brief period, law enforcement or emergency responders arrive on the scene, ensuring your safety and diffusing the situation. However, several issues have surfaced. The installation of these boxes costs approximately $20,000 with an additional annual maintenance expense of $1,000. This added financial burden, particularly for public institutions already facing strained budgets, might prove to be overwhelming. Moreover, when these boxes eventually malfunction or deteriorate, reinstalling them incurs a secondary installation fee. Furthermore, there has been a significant issue with the misuse of these blue boxes. Reportedly, among 508 blue light activations recorded at the University of Florida between January 2017 and January 2019, a mere 14 instances, equivalent to 2.7%, necessitated police intervention, with only one of these cases being a genuine emergency. However, the reality of relying solely on these emergency call boxes can present a far more challenging scenario, especially in densely populated urban areas. Picture this alternate scenario. You press the emergency button, activating the alarm system. While some passers-by might notice the alarm, many may hesitate to intervene due to concerns for their own safety. Meanwhile, the system endeavours to connect you to a local dispatcher, but the sheer volume of incoming calls overwhelms the emergency lines, causing critical seconds to slip away. Tragically, it has become increasingly common for 911 lines to be inundated, making it incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to reach a dispatcher during a moment of dire need.
They are the lifeline when tragedy strikes, but residents in West Philadelphia say their calls to 911 went unanswered when a fire broke out. Action News
Imagine calling 911 for help and getting no answer.
An Ohio woman says it happened to her as she tried to call an ambulance for her husband, who later died.
Following a developing story from Hollywood, where a police officer says he called 911 repeatedly when his wife started having breathing problems, but nobody ever picked up the phone.
And by the time he was finally able to reach emergency responders, it was too late. Local 10's Roy Ramos live now with this heartbreaking story.
Unbelievable.
Compounding the issue, there might not be an officer in close proximity, resulting in an extended wait for vital assistance. This delay significantly heightens the risk of encountering the assailant again, potentially escalating the danger as they attempt to thwart your attempt to seek help, leaving you in an even more vulnerable position. Moreover, every individual carries a cell phone capable of summoning emergency services at the touch of a button. Some corporations, such as Apple and Starlink, have even introduced emergency satellite calls, providing access to emergency services in the most remote areas. This begs the pressing question: are these stations truly indispensable in modern times? Can they genuinely prove effective in real-life emergency scenarios, or do they serve as more of a deterrent, attempting to instill a sense of safety through sheer intimidation to ward off potential criminals? Tell me what you think down in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, please consider giving this video a like and/or subscribe. This is my first video, and it would mean the world to me.